The curtain goes up on House Republican investigations into Joe Biden and his family with a hearing Wednesday about Hunter Biden's laptop. Joining me now, attorney and advisor for Donald Trump for president, Christina Bobb. And Christina, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this because, you know, with the way they treat the FBI, the way they treated your search, the search of Mar-a-Lago and Trump, differently from the way they're treating Joe Biden's. I'm just concerned and curious if maybe something has to do with if there's a China connection to it. Is Joe Biden pushing back because, I don't know, maybe he's indebted to them for some reason? Maybe it has something to do with his son Hunter's business dealings, which we need to know more about.
Absolutely. We all need to know what is going on within the Biden crime family. Who is Hunter dealing with? Where is the 10% for the big guy? Is Joe Biden still receiving 10% from all of the money sent over to Ukraine for dealings with China? I mean, I think it's interesting that all of this information has been percolating for years, yet there hasn't been an investigation into it. And then we have this Chinese spy balloon that makes it all the way across the United States, collects all of its intelligence before it's eventually shot down and delayed. And, you know, here we are waiting to see how much information the Chinese took from us.
You know what blows me away, and I keep thinking about this. We played it a lot, and you haven't. It's not new to the folks seeing that the soundbite of this. But when Joe Biden is vice president, who literally proudly said on a stage, "I'm holding back $1 billion of aid from the U.S. to Ukraine because until they fire the prosecutor, and the prosecutor that was investigating Burisma, which his son Hunter Biden was a board member of, the amount of corruption that appears to be is insane, yet we seem to let it slide."
Yeah, that's exactly right. Joe Biden is using American dollars, American taxpayer dollars, to bribe his political opponents overseas who are investigating his son or who were investigating his son, but he successfully got them removed. And then now we see that the United States has sent about $100 billion over to the Ukraine, where Hunter Biden was involved. We've got these dealings with Burisma, as you're talking about. We saw all the way back, at least in 2020, when the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, that was then chaired by Ron Johnson, looked into this preliminarily and found a lot of questions and said, hey, the Bidens have received, particularly through Hunter Biden, they've received millions, if not over $1 billion from China, the mayor of Moscow's wife, and Ukraine that could have dealings with human trafficking. I mean, there is a there. We just finally are having leaders brave enough look into it.
You know, you're a lawyer, but you've been around and you've been watching this stuff long enough. You know, Hunter Biden knew nothing about oil and gas, and he was put on the board of a gas company in Ukraine. But he also knew nothing about the investment community. That's where I come from. And the Chinese Communist Party, along with another group of Chinese money, gave him $1.5 billion to trade with, to invest with, a guy who has no experience. And they paid him handsomely for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're paying him, what, $500,000 for his finger paintings? I mean, it's ridiculous. There's no way that any of this is legitimate. Hunter Biden himself acknowledged on TV that he didn't have experience with oil and gas and that he wouldn't have gotten that position but for the fact that his father was Joe Biden, the vice president of the United States. So that in and of itself is prima facie evidence that they are selling access. They are selling access to the United States government for their own personal gain. This isn't money that's going to the American taxpayers. This is money that's going to Hunter Biden and his business partners, with 10% going to the big guy, presumably Joe Biden. So yeah, there appears to be a lot of corruption going on here, and I hope that the House committee can get to the bottom of it.
At least they treat Trump's children the same way they treat Biden's children, right?
Oh, right. I'm sure. The Trump family has been through so much. And I think it just goes to show how clean they are and how clean their dealings are, because they've been under investigation for 7, 8 years now on the most random things. And the federal government hasn't been able to find anything on them. So I think the Trump family can hold their heads high.
And there's a treasure trove of stuff on that laptop, and the federal government's like, oh, misinformation, Russian misinformation. I got to leave it there. Christina, always good having you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.